I mentioned the talent discussions that are happening all over the contracting community and especially at NCMA World Congress. Those discussions are about finding new talent, keeping experienced professionals in the workforce, and developing those pros as contracting changes. Polly Hall is Senior Advisor to the Chief Procurement Officer at DHS. She says the entire acquisition segment needs more talent.
At DHS, we're in the same boat that other agencies are at. There's more vacancies than we have staff. And so we've been really strategic about this, right? We don't want to just come to organizations and conferences and take from other agencies, right? We recognize that we need to fill the pool with new talent. And so we've really been focused on where should we be looking for talent? And two things matter to folks that are looking for talent, right? One is the organizational culture, right? Whether people are aware of it or not, culture is evident. Yeah. And culture matters to folks as they're looking for careers. And so, when we think about the DHS strategic priorities for our procurement line of business and our acquisition community, procure, innovate, empower, collaborate, right? That's the basis of our culture, and it's what we're driving. And we're hoping, right, that is going to be evident to people who are looking at us as a potential career opportunity. The other thing we have going for us is the DHS mission. And so we are really purposeful about communicating the importance of that mission, but also the diversity of the mission, right? Everything from natural disaster to cybersecurity. The protection of our homeland resonates with our potential applicants. And that call to public service on top of the DHS mission is another real way we're focusing in on building the community that encourages people not just to come and apply, but to stay and create their career.
As you and your colleagues do things and make moves to change and improve the culture, how do you measure that you're going in the direction that the employees want to go and not just the direction that you think the employees want you to go?
What you measure matters, right? And so we're pretty specific about, it was 2018, so what is that, like 5-6 years ago, on coming up with a way to truly measure our procurement culture at DHS. And we wanted it to be repeatable so that we could look at trends over time, because one glimpse at culture at a moment in time doesn't really show us what our culture is. You have to see it year over year, and you have to look at the data so that you can change it. And so in 2018, we started what's called our Procurement Culture Survey, or PCS. And it measures kind of 4 critical, important values. One is innovation. One is process and control. The third is mission. And the fourth is like human relations or teamwork, right? And so we saw that process and control and mission were really valued highly. Innovation and people, right, were valued lower. And we wanted to increase the value placed on innovation and people without lowering the value of mission, but maybe, right, balancing that process and control. And we thought that would be the ideal culture for DHS. And so year over year, as we've measured this, we've noticed that we've been able to make improvements in the valuation of people and innovation. And that's been fantastic. We have the data that shows that, but it's measured granularly enough that we can drive into each contracting activity across our department. And so we're giving our leaders real data that helps them plan and strategize ways that they can consciously do new things or change what they're doing to improve culture toward that shared collective leadership goal for our procurement community. So the data is helpful because it's impacting our ability to change and make decisions.
What do you do with that data once you know what will move people and what will improve the culture? How do you make the decisions to then change that stuff Or is it just simple as, okay, we know that's a problem, so we just need to change it?
Yeah, our leaderships are held accountable in our head of contracting performance goal letters. Understanding where they stand on the PSC survey and having them come up with their own plans for improving the areas that are showing as opportunities for them is part of what our leadership is charged to do and responsible to execute. So everyone's doing things a little bit differently, right? And it depends on where their areas are. I'll give you an example at U.S. Secret Service. The HCA noticed that there were some areas around innovation that he wanted to drive change around. And so he actually brought in our Procurement Innovation Lab. They went through a user discovery session with the contracting community at Secret Service, learned and listened, came up with some recommendations that now that HCA has to be able to execute and implement.
Polly Hall of DHS.